Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Dev Code Crunch. My name is Purva and today we are going to talk about the error that you see on the screen, hydration failed because the server rendered text didn't match the client. If you ever seen this error in the console, you're not alone. It's one of the most common and confusing issues in modern Next.js applications. Today, I'll show you exactly why it happens, how to reproduce it, and of course, how to fix it properly. Let's dive right in. Alright, here's a simple example. I've got a fresh Next.js application created using create next app. Inside src app page.tsx, I wrote a little component that shows the current time. There is a state and the property is called time. We have a use effect which does nothing but sets the time after 1000 millisecond, which should be updated in the UI. Let's run the code. We are using pnpm run dev and it is running in localhost. Let's go to the browser and refresh it once. Although we can see that UI showing the current time, but we can also see this error in the console. If I look closely, the server rendered one time, but the client re-rendered with a slightly newer one. That's a mismatch. Here's what's actually going on under the hood. Next.js first renders your page on the server. That's what users get as static HTML. Then React hydrates that HTML in the browser by attaching event listeners and reconciling the DOM. The problem? The time on server might be, let's say 12:30, 10, but the time hydration happens on the client is 12:30, 11. The text content is different, React detects a mismatch, and hydration fails. This also happens if you use random numbers, browsers, only APIs like window or document, dynamic content that changes between server and client renders. Last part of the video, let's go ahead with the fix. First option is to delay rendering until the client mounts. What does it mean? If the data depends on the browser or changes every second, then don't render it on the server. Instead, wait until the component is mounted. Going back to the code, we don't initialize it in use state. We initialize it with a null. And we have to specify a type now. Let's keep it as a string or null. Then in here in use effect, we simply set it when it's available. That's all we need to do to fix this error. Let's go back to the browser and we can see that error is already gone. Now the server just renders a placeholder and the actual time appears only after hydration. No mismatch, no error. Well, this was fix number one. Moving on to fix number two, we can split into client and server components. If you're mixing static and dynamic logic, split it into a client subcomponent. That's the best practice in the app router world. This means we are going to create another component called clock 36 in app, and in here we simply write the logic for the time. Very quickly I'm going to use and copy paste the same code, and in here we just initialize it with empty. In the use effect we initialize it with the current time, and simply return time from here. Time component. Now moving to page.tss, this is going to be a server component and we don't need use effect anymore. This is moved to clock.tsx. This is also not required, and in here we can use simply clock from clock.tsx. That's all. Let's save it, go back to the browser and refresh the window. We see that error is already gone. Last but not the least, summary. So, to recap, the hydration fail error happens when server and client render different HTML, or usually because of dynamic values like time, random numbers, or browser APIs. The fix is simple: only render stable content on the server, or move dynamic logic into use effect or a client component. That's it. No more mysterious hydration errors. If this video saved you time, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more real world Next.js fixes. In the next episode, we are going to tackle another common bug: layout shift and flickering when switching themes or loading dynamic content. See you in the next one.